last quarter of the year. There's been a lot of changes. There's been a lot of stuff going on in the market. Rates are down. What does the market have for us this October? Luis Carlos Perez here with Center Real Estate. So we're going to go over the numbers in October. We have these statistics that come from GEPAR, from the MLS. Well, something that's a little surprising, maybe not too much, but the market's been quite stable for the last 12 months, and pretty much 12 months or more. So the median price point has been about 265, fluctuated a little bit down, a little bit more, up, but overall it's been averaging like about 265 throughout this last year. And this last month, same thing, 265 even. It went up a little bit from the previous month, but it's just prices are pretty stable, but at the same time creeping up like almost nothing, not even noticeable. But that's the average price. I have the number that dropped this month actually was closed sales. So closed sales was down 631. Nothing to be worried about, nothing to be too excited about. We came out of September, which is the beginning of the school year, end of August, September, the beginning of the school year. So sales have been down a little bit or quite a bit. It's noticeable in the market. It's a slowdown, and it's a cyclical thing. It's quite slow. We're also coming into an election year. We're a few days away from the election, so that kind of puts people at a halt. There's also the rates. People are expecting rates to drop a little bit or not, so that kind of put a little bit of stop for people that are looking to buy a house or do any moves. So that's nothing to worry about. 631 closed sales, which is the number that we have. Here is active inventory. So active inventory surprisingly has been creeping up a little bit from September, from August to September and now to October. I've seen the numbers start increasing. There's a little bit more options when people are looking for homes. Not too crazy, but there's still just a little bit more options, which is a good thing if you're out there looking to buy a house. So active inventory, we have about 2,556 homes. And I keep telling you this is a number where there's still not enough homes for everybody. There's still a demand for homes out there. So if you're thinking about listing, you're not sure what's going to happen, it's still a good time to list because there's not a lot of options. So the buyers that are out there are going to come after your home. They're going to look at it, they're going to walk it, and most likely make an offer if you're stand out in the market. So that's why it's important to get a strong listing agent. But it's a good time. No inventory, so it means it's still a seller's market for the most. Median days on market. This is another indicator that we are still in a seller's market, which is 25 days on market, which is up from the previous month just by a couple of days. So 25 days on market is not a long time to be on the market for a home. Now, just keep in mind, you are going to see homes that are sitting there for a month or longer. You're going to see homes that maybe didn't sell. I've seen a few homes that canceled or withdrawn from the market, and there's a few reasons for that. One, the price point's a little higher. The higher the price point gets in El Paso, you get into the luxury area, price points homes tend to sit there a little bit longer. Two, if you're competing with newer homes, you have your home that's a few years old and you have a brand new home down the street, which is at a similar price point, that new home tends to be a better purchase. So those are two things there. And then also there's homes that are really overpriced for what the market is calling for. So that's why those homes sit there a little bit longer. But a home that's priced well, that shows well, it's gonna sell pretty fast, and we're looking at a timeline of 25 days on average. Median price per square foot, that's another number that's slightly up again, is $157 a square foot. So this is an indicator, it goes hand in hand with a median price point. Median price per square foot is a good way to, like a quick overview. If you're driving a neighborhood, you see a house that's for sale, you compare it to something a couple blocks away, you compare the price per square foot, that usually is an indicator of which house is priced higher or lower. Because price point is going to depend on square footage. So if you break it down to the square feet, then it's going to tell you that which house is priced a little higher or lower. And you'll know this by, if you go on the apps, it'll tell you price per square foot compared to actual price point, and you know how much you're paying for that square footage. The last statistic that we have here is new listings. So like I mentioned before, there's a little bit more homes that are coming up in the market, more options for buyers. There's still a lot less competition for sellers, so it's something to think about. But that went up. That went up a little bit higher, 15% or so from a previous month. So we're at 1,009 new listings that happened this last month. So that's still, now I want to say this, that's still a number that is not enough for home buyers. I assure you, There is more than 1,000 people looking for a house in the El Paso market alone. There's more than that. There's more than 1,000 realtors for sure in the city. So those new homes that are hitting the market are not enough for everybody out there that's looking. So you still have the upper hand if you're a seller. You still have the upper hand if you do the things right. You're gonna get a good price for your home. Lastly, I want to touch base on this rate. So the rate dropped. The rate dropped slightly this last month, and it didn't make a huge impact. That's my take on the market. It didn't do a huge impact on what the market is doing out there. There wasn't a wave of buyers going after homes. There wasn't homes that just started listed or homes that had been sitting and all of a sudden sold. It really did little to no effect onto the market, which is very interesting. And it goes back to the earlier comment where I think people are still waiting to see what's going to happen with the election. People are still waiting for, I mean, a big factor is the economy. They're really for that inflation to be under control, to be dropped. That's still not happening. People are still feeling it in their pockets. So there's a lot of uncertainty, and that's what's holding up the market. Let me know what you think is going to happen when this market, once the election happens or once the inflation is under control. What do you think is going to happen to the real estate market here in the last quarter of 2024?